Today I'm showing you what is the most powerful build in Remnant 2 now that basically everything got nerfed. So everything for the most part got nerfed, but actually the one thing they didn't touch was the tank. And the tank was always one of the most viable builds. It only really shined in battles where you could just go toe to toe with melee and just never die. But also at the same time, the DPS builds didn't shine in taking out those battles quicker. So now that all the DPS builds for the most part have been nerfed, all the best ones at least, the tank build really does shine, and this is by far, in my opinion, the best way to do the tank. So what's the purpose of a tank not dying? This build right here does not die in the hands of a skilled player. I've already beat the entire DLC on Apocalypse. Actually had it done within the first handful of hours, but chose to upload a couple of other videos versus all the boss videos. I will have the rest of the boss videos uploaded over the next couple days, and you can see with what was it, the rock dude that jumps around and the final boss, just how OP this build is. And once I upload those videos, I'll try to remember to link those. Otherwise, you can check out my channel. If this video's been up for more than a day, I'll have those videos up. But let's get right into the build now. As you can see, most of these items, but let's get right into it. So we're going to start off, Challenger is our main. And we want this because, one, it's a tank build. So we want a second life. Also, if that does proc, that's 5% damage reduction. Might not seem like a lot, but it definitely helps when we get into some of this other stuff. So this build is going to run the most defensive heavy armor, but guess what? We can still roll. So we're not going with an ultra build. Fuck that. Occasionally, you do want to dodge. This build is not a straight tank melee build. It's just a straight tank build. We can play melee tank, we can play gun tank, and that's the beautiful part of this build. It actually is versatile to the point where it excels at every boss battle, but it just takes slightly longer to kill than if you had a DPS build. But you don't die when you take the slightest hit. This is, by the way, an Apocalypse build. I mean, you could use it in any difficulty. I do Apocalypse. Fuck regular, easy mode. So let's get into the relic. We got basically the top one is Mythic Armor. Even with it reduced, it's 10% more. And as you can see, that right here is basically almost 50 armor. So that's a nice little chunk of armor. We are going to take that. We're definitely taking the 15% health as well. And we're taking the 20% shield amount. We're getting shield in two ways. Now, you can, like I said, use any gun you want. Depending on the battle, you're going to want to use different guns. You might want to go with a melee strategy with high damage mods on your guns. You might want to do guns and just have a melee and not even use it and do a gun battle. So these weapons are going to be kind of changed depending on what you're currently fighting. Personally, for the melee, I highly recommend World's Edge if you have it, and sometimes World's Edge is definitely not ideal. My second favorite, if World Edge is just generating not enough shield, going with the Huntress Spear. But regardless, whatever battle you're doing, if it's a melee battle, put on Shielded Strike. This way, you're getting shield per melee hit and helping you stay alive. It is very easy with the Javelin and sometimes even World's Edge to generate like 50% shield or like 30% shield. But guess what? Because our health pool is so large, even if we generate only 30% shield before our next hit, that is 70 plus life. So we can withstand 70 hit just off that shield alone, which generally doesn't take all the damage or only goes slightly. It doesn't one-shot us. It doesn't kill us. It generally doesn't even take our bar past the 50% mark, allowing us to keep going, be aggressive, and get that life back. So, because this is a straight tank build, we definitely do need this armor effectiveness. 35% is fucking massive. Definitely helps us negate a lot of attacks, and this allows us to wear the heaviest of armor. Then we do need more health, so we're going to take more health and more armor. We're going to take more health and reduce our stamina by fine. This is even fine when just going with full out melee. You will be fine. You don't need to spam charge attacks. Generally, you're only occasionally using charged attacks and mostly spamming your light quick attacks to get shield. So this is not a charged melee build, even when you play melee tank with it. Then we're going to be taking more health once again. And what I don't see or heard of a lot of people actually using in their tank build is the Feast Master's Signet. Like, let's face it, money shouldn't really be a thing if you're still playing this game. I mean, if you're brand new to the game, you're going to have to go get these items anyway. This actually allows you to do the bonus health, and you should be doing the bonus health and the bonus armor for your 2 concoctions, allowing you to give you more defense for an hour than any other ring in its place. So this actually is an ideal ring for the tank build. And let's get into some of these traits. Now, these you can mix and match. You can change this up a little bit. Some of the things that you won't be changing: Fortify, Strong Back, which comes with the Challenger, but Swiftness isn't always needed. It's more for general gameplay. If you are playing a boss where you go toe-to-toe and simply don't move, Swiftness is not needed. Not sure what you would put in place for that boss fight, but it can be swapped out. Trias is not swapped out. We do want that. We do want regrowth. The gray health regen is pretty good too. Damage reduction is a must. Life skill is a must. Elemental damage is dependent on the battle. Like I said, gray health regeneration is very good. And because we do gain a lot, like our 2 skill cooldowns, one gives us 15% damage reduction and bonus melee. Great all around for damage reduction. And in a melee fight, shines 2 ways. And then we have the Dox ability. When we use our shield, we are gaining 224 plus 20%. So that comes to roughly 270 health and shield when we use that ability. So getting that and getting our Challenger ability back a little bit quicker does allow us to survive better. So expertise is another really good one. Like I said, there was a couple of swap outs which you could add extra stamina or extra evade distance or something else in its place, but for the most part, those are the traits you'll be using. And yeah, this is just an insanely OP tank build. Everything else was nerfed to shit, but this still holds its own excellent in Apocalypse. Like, for the most part, if you're losing in a battle, just switch to this build and fucking win. That's what it is. It's like the fuck you, I can withstand your hit and let's go build. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, share. It helps others find the video. I hope this helped.